Hello viewers, something monumental happened on this YouTube channel a few hours back. A few weeks back, I had made a video titled Serve and Volley: How Tennis Rules Were Changed to Stop the Dominance of One Tennis Player. The tennis player in question was Pancho Gonzalez from the United States of America. If you haven't heard of Pancho Gonzalez, that is precisely the point why I made that video. Because when tennis fans debate online about who is the greatest tennis player of all time, the conversation usually centers around why Novak Djokovic is the greatest of all time, and if you believe he is not, you have some sentimental weakness. What I want to contribute in that debate is that when you talk about greatest of all time, at least have the decency of including all time. That is the entire span of the sport of tennis right from the 19th century. But that is hardly ever the case because tennis, logically speaking, has been a different sport across two big eras, the Open era and tennis before the Open era. The reason why tennis players who played tennis before the Open era, that is before French Open of 1968, why those tennis players are not compared or comparable with the tennis players from the Open era is simply because of the fact that the best tennis players before the Open era were not allowed to compete in the best tennis tournaments. So the resume that you would see of a really good tennis player from before the Open era would not look as good on paper as say even an average tennis player from the Open era. For example, the resume of Pancho Gonzalez would not look as good as Roy Emerson's resume. However, if you are from that era, if you've seen both players play, then you would know who the better tennis player is. Now, because it is difficult to compare, so usually the greatest of all time debate focuses on tennis players from the Open era. However, if you open it up to tennis players from before the Open era, I definitely think that Pancho Gonzalez's name should feature at least in the debate about who the greatest tennis player of all time is. That was why I had made that video to talk about Pancho Gonzalez. And I had never expected people would watch the video, and expected even less that somebody who actually played against Pancho Gonzalez would also watch the video and would be kind enough to comment in the comment section of the video. So a few hours back, I came across this comment on that video, and this was by Alexander Mayer, who had played against Pancho Gonzalez, and he described his experience in beautiful words. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayer, and it would be the greatest honor of my life to get a chance to communicate with you virtually. Maybe we can set it up. I know this is a small channel and you must be very busy, but it would mean the world to me. For you viewers, you should know that Alexander Mayer was born on 5th April in 1952 and is from the United States of America. He is a former tennis player. He won 12 titles in singles and 24 titles in doubles in his professional career. He was also part of the tennis squad which won when playing for Stanford University in 1973. Now, I would briefly describe his career based on the knowledge I gleaned from Wikipedia. Alexander Mayer was born in Flushing in New York. He entered Stanford University in 1970. In 1972, Alexander Mayer partnered with Grand Slam winner Roscoe Tanner, and he won the NCAA Doubles Championship. And the Stanford team finished second in the NCAA tournament behind Trinity University. In 1973, Alexander Mayer and Stanford won everything in the NCAA tournament. Mayer won singles, Mayer and Jim Delaney won doubles, and the team won the national championship ahead of USC. Alexander Mayer was a right-handed tennis player and he reached his highest singles ATP ranking in April 1982 when he became world number 7. Now let's briefly look at his best results in the majors or Grand Slams. In the singles category first, Alexander Mayer reached the second round of the Australian Open in 1980. He reached the third round of the French Open in 1979 and 1981. He reached the semi-finals of Wimbledon in 1973, and he also reached the fourth round of the US Open in 1972. When it comes to doubles, the best result Alexander Mayer had in the Australian Open was reaching the quarterfinals in 1980, and Alexander Mayer was a Grand Slam champion. He won the French Open and the Wimbledon in the doubles category. He won French Open in 1979 and he won Wimbledon in 1975 in the doubles category. In the US Open, in the doubles category, Alexander Mayer managed to reach the third round in 1983 and 1984. Now, this may not appear too impressive to you, tennis viewers, but for someone like me who has never held a tennis racket in my hand, who has never seen a tennis match live, having a comment from somebody who has actually won the most prestigious tennis tournaments played in the world is really more than a dream come true. So, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for commenting, and I hope you like this video.